Hey everybody, Trickster here, and we're playing a game called Lucid9. As always, I have no idea what this is about. I'm gonna turn the music down. Where's the music? No. Where's the freaking volume? Shit. Oh, audio. Turn the music down. It goes this way. There we go. Okay. Return. Alright, let's see how this game goes. Oh, shit. Let's turn the ambience down a bit, too. Music lower. Ambience there. Okay. I step back and examine my masterpiece. Perfect. My favorite color. I've always loved red, but it's different, brilliant, vibrant, unusual. A happy anomaly. Just like me. Red isn't much for nature. Really only shows up in autumn, and even then, the dusk, a dreary rust, or nauseating cherry. And we just can't have that. Not when it deserves so much more. A whispering breeze filters through my thoughts, brushing against my skin with icy fingers. I allow myself a moment to pause, to relish, to admire, to welcome the fresh scent of freedom. This is what I live for. When my eyes open, I spot a frail leaf dancing upon the backbone of the passing wind, afflicting the world with its appalling shade of asparagus. I pluck it from its branch with the edges of my stained fingernails. Disgusting. How anyone can enjoy this color eludes me. A soft groan redirects my attention to my awaiting masterpiece. It's lovely, really. Spread across the ground, face contorted with fear, twitching, cold fingers clutching at empty air. Not my best work, unfortunately. The canvas died much quicker than I had originally expected, even when I tried to carve a bit slower. Well, no matter. Today it shall be a palette for my paint. I make quick work of my new palette's chest, ignoring the twitching of post-mortem reflexes from its mutilated kneecaps. The sweet color of red, true crimson, pure scarlet, slinks down its pallid abdomen, licking at the blossoming turf below. I dip my fingers into the setting pool of blood. It's warm, sticky, like syrup, or settling gelatin. The sweet scent wafts to my nostrils. Ah, it smells of iron, of rust, of all things sharp and beautiful. I guess I'm a serial killer, oh no. And now, a new canvas. I check my surroundings, evaluating the surfaces and textures and sizes and shapes of every object in sight. None are quite so satisfactory as human skin with its elasticity, its porous absorption, its innately warm tint. But a substitute is required. So a substitute I must find. Presently, I realize that I'm still holding the ice of a leaf in my hand. Well, I suppose it'll have to do. In one bold, fluid stroke, I swipe my paint across the leaf. The very essence of Van Gogh himself. Ah, yes, dear Vincent. The man cut off his own ear to send a message when words just didn't suffice. I always admired his style. I take a moment to appreciate the leaf's newfound radiance before searching for a proper display. Something like this deserves to be exhibited. I hang my canvas back on its branch. That's better. If only there were more of this color in the world. The unexpected interlude of my phone drives me out of my thoughts. The irritating thing just loves to run the climax. Yes? Is it done? You're always in such a rush. Well? Yes, it's done. I was having a moment. There's more where that came from. You interrupted me. You're the one who wanted to know when it was finished. A thrill leaps through my veins as my lips pull into a tenuous smile. Well, is it? Same time, same place as usual. You know the drill. I nearly clapped my hands, but I mastered myself for one final word. Understood. I cut the transmission, eagerly withdraw the small bottle from within my jacket. One pill left, but no matter. I'll be getting more soon enough. I popped the final capsule in my mouth, puncturing its skin with my teeth and rolling the bitter gel over my tongue. Now this is life. A wave of euphoria sweeps through me. I churned from my handiwork, strolling out of the meadow. Today's fun is over. Tomorrow will hold just as many pleasures. Ma? Ishimoto. Huh? I sluggishly pulled my head upwards, fixing my eyes on the woman at the front of the classroom. Oh, what? I'm a different person. Are you even listening? I hide my instinctive smirk. Technically, no. I've always found napping more appealing than relearning history that's been drilled in my head since age 6. Not that I can actually say that. In all honesty, the teacher doesn't deserve that kind of callous response. Yes, ma'am. Perfect. Summarize the whole section we've been reviewing. I glanced at the touchscreen board mounted behind the teacher, quickly skimming over the graphics and typography hovering on its surface. History of Isamu, our glorious metropolis, beginning 2000 AD. Easy. Easy. Life was really boring for a while. We weren't in debt, weren't at war, and were basically doing nothing interesting. The teacher's lips pursed in thin line as the classroom erupts in snickers. I feel the slightest tinge of regret and rein in my sarcasm. Then in 2007, America entered a debt crisis that caused a worldwide financial crash. Japan was one of the countries most affected by this, well, second to China. And why might that be? Because we were dumb about who we partnered with. She taps her fingers impatiently at her desk, her eyes narrowing into slits. Well, she asked me to summarize the chapter. She didn't ask me how. Anyway, our glorious government didn't handle the situation so hot. So we had a lovely depression with all-time highs of employment and crime. Good effort. Gold star. The teacher waves her hand as the classroom roars with laughter. Right, that's enough. I'll be needing to talk with you after class about your attitude, young man. Oh, I'm a guy. Yay! Nah, in other news, grass is green. Elizabeth, perhaps you can salvage this explanation. She gestures a few seats to my right where my lavender-haired classmate sits, her spine straight as a ruler. I feel a curl of distaste in the pit of my stomach as I lounge against my chair. Of course, Elizabeth Oshiro, class valedictorian, school poster child, the area's golden girl. Nap time! I sit on my head in my arms as Elizabeth leaps to her feet, smiling warmly. Certainly, during this time, Japan fell into chaos. Public demonstrations, often violent, occurred almost every day. Furthermore, political scandals regarding the national government kept spreading. The teacher relaxed at Elizabeth's textbook recitation. She even shoots a quick glance in my direction as if to say, "See, why can't you be like Elizabeth?" Eventually, local political powers became more effective than the centralized administration. Hence why Isamu operates as smoothly as it does. Yes, thanks to the mayor's efforts. Perfectly done, Elizabeth. Elizabeth smiles primly and settles back into her seat, fixing her eyes at me with challenging disapproval. I only shrug my shoulders, sending her an easy smirk. Oh, beautiful and brainy. She might be worthy enough to make my list. I glance to my left. He looks like Naruto! I glance to my left just in time to catch another classmate. Yahiko Hikari, winking conspiracially at Elizabeth. She clearly ignores him. Well, that's Yahiko for you. I can't remember a day when he hasn't tried to flirt with some girl or another. Nor can I remember a day where he wasn't flat out rejected. Technically, he's my former roommate, which makes him my friend of 2 years. How close of a friend? Well, that's up for debate. Huh? She managed to deflect my charms. I wonder how. Me too! No one can resist the Yahiko Ikari. Yahiko! Yahiko clamps his mouth shut at the teacher's strident command. She leans heavily against her desk, massaging her temples with her fingers. Alright, class, thanks to Elizabeth, we've seen where we've come from. I'm sure you're all wondering what the point of this history recap was. Not really, no. We must study the past to understand the future. As such, it's imperative that the next topic be taken seriously. So, where do you all see yourself 10 years from now? I'm barely able to stifle a snort. It's only, what, the second day of school? Sure, This is a third-year class. Sure, we're preparing for the college entrance exam. Does that mean that we have to know exactly what we want to do for the rest of our lives? The teacher pointedly looks at me with a hard glint in her eye. Yama Ishimoto, perhaps you'd like to get us started. I tend to say, no thank you, but that'd be pretty rude. I'll manage my parents' restaurant, I guess. The teacher's lips tighten ever so slightly. I know what she's thinking. No passion, no ambition. He will be a failure, this one. It'll pay the bills. What more can I ask for? Really, dude? Out of anything you could have picked, you picked a restaurant manager? What would you suggest? Add a bunch more, dude, like women and cars. As he criticizes me for my lack of imagination. Come on, it's 10 years, anything can happen. The teacher shoots him a disapproving glare as his voice rises dramatically in volume. Ah, Yahiko, thank you for volunteering. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Yahiko beams, and I feel something into dread. Here goes his dream, the one that I've heard no less than 200 times before. Well, Teach, I see myself with a Ferrari F500 under one arm, a Lamborghini Aventador 704 under the other, and a lot of beautiful women in between, fighting for the honorable privilege of bearing my children. And the class stares at him. Ah, heck, let's have some fun. I whisper to him. What about the mansion? Right! Take all that and put it in front of a 20,000 square foot mansion intended to my staff of 1,000 maids. And where is it located? Oh, it's in the Caribbean, on an island, a man-made island specifically constructed just for me, with my name laser engraved into the hills, so that every plane that flies by sees that it belongs to. That's quite enough, Yahiko. Thank you for your input. Clearly, she doesn't believe in his dream. Actually, I don't think anyone except Yahiko believes in his dream. Then again, Yahiko has enough belief to make up for everyone else. Now, Umeko, what about you? The rest of our class drone on about joining some kind of mega corporation like Women's Great or Way Forward Pharmaceuticals. I lean closer to Yahiko. You forgot some things. I did? The yacht, the walk-in closet just for designer shoes, a private jet, a second mansion in Tahiti. Oh crap, I did! Hey, Teach! Fortunately for the teacher, the school bell rings just before he can grab her attention. My classmates immediately shove their belongings into their bags and bolt for the door. Meanwhile, Yahiko heads straight for the teacher's desk, eyes lit with excitement as he gabbers on and on about his yacht and his designer shoes and his private jet and his second mansion in Tahiti. A restaurant manager, huh? And then there's Elizabeth, slipping into Yahiko's now vacant seat. She shifts her backpack weight onto the desk, raises a patronizing eyebrow at me. Well, sorry for being realistic, Miss CEO of a mega corporation. Sorry that I actually have ambition, Mr. Manager of the family restaurant. What, should I have talked about having a mansion and cars and maids on my own personal island? You didn't even shoot for a restaurant not owned by your parents. They'll kick the bucket one day. How purey. I might as well be the one who takes over. Oh, have some respect, would you? I snicker at that. Respect? Me? I flash her bright, overly friendly smile. See you around, Lizzie. She fumes, but forces herself to take a deep breath until her expression stills. Unfortunately. That was a pretty nice comeback. I'll give her that much. Beth? Still up for lunch? A student slides to the doors, the warm smile and a wave. I recognize her as a girl who's always with Elizabeth. Don't know much else about her. Oh, there's her arms. I'm like, where are her arms? Oh, she has very short arms in her pockets. In the blink of an eye, Elizabeth's face softens into a friendly grin. I'll be right there. Yep, just in case it wasn't clear enough, her hate is directed exclusively at me. She's the queen of angels to everyone else. Particularly this girl, who I'd guess would be the closest thing she has to a friend. Well, Ishimoto, it's been a pleasure. I bet it has. She lifts her chin and stiffly walks out of class, nearly bumping into a startled Yahiko on the way out. As a train of second years, probably her groupies, pulls her away, Yahiko slips next to me. What did she talk to you? Why did she talk to you? Not me, the great Yahiko Ikari. Maybe because there's a limit to how many brain cells she's willing to sacrifice for conversation. Beats me. She's been doing that for a while. Really? We were in the same class last year. Really? I'm not surprised that he just learned about this. Then again, to be fair, I don't talk to Yahiko much about my personal life. Yeah, something like that. It's not important. Yahiko evaluates me for a second, with an unusually stoic expression, but quickly shakes it off, his face melting into a grin. So, what do you think about my dream earlier? This again? On second thought, maybe we should have kept talking about Elizabeth. Same as the other 200 times you told me. It hasn't been 200. Has it really? 203 to be exact. Huh. So that means you think it's amazing, right? Totally, I think it's the best dream in history. And so original and realistic. Thanks, dude. But I don't think you're aiming high enough. Huh? What should I add? Aim for the moon. He gasps as if it's the best idea ever. Poor soul. Forget Tahiti, a mansion on the moon? He'd be the first. And probably the last. Just think about the possibilities. No one's ever gonna set foot on the moon. Imagine how famous I'll be if I built a mansion there. No one's ever set foot? Seriously? Either I stepped into the conversation at the wrong time, or someone just came up with a really stupid idea. Enter Rui Hayata, my friend of 10 years. Technically, she's a grade lower than me, but that doesn't stop us from hanging out. She's stuck with me through thick and thin. She probably knows me better than I know myself. Beside her stands Asato Kurugane, hardy in both build and personality. If I had to describe him one word, I'd use fire. Easily antagonized, hard to put out, and blazes every obstacle out of his way. Afternoon, little daisies. What's going on here? I'm gonna build a vacation home on the moon. Somehow, I can't say I'm surprised. I know, right? I'm brilliant. Think the first man on the moon and the first man to build a mansion on it. You're so bright, you're blinding me. What have you been telling him? That a giant leap for him is a small step for mankind. She has to think about it for a moment, but I'm rewarded with a smirk. Clever. I know. Look, if you kids are done yapping, Yama and I are gonna head to track. What? I didn't think Yama was joining again this year. Of course he is. This is news to me. It doesn't seem like a good idea, considering you only went to one practice last year and ditched the rest. Well, he ain't ditching this year. Ain't that right, man? Well, now that you mention it... What's that? You guys didn't even win last year. Masato, no need to make a big deal. Masato's eyes flare with the instinctual need to prove the worthiness of track. We're winning this year. I got a secret weapon. Really? Masato lights up at Rui's apparent interest. See, we lost last year because we didn't have good names. This year I've got a great one. He pauses for dramatic effect. Marvelous Masa! Well, at the very least, this is a pretty good opportunity to joke around. Wow, that's a fantastic! And all comes so speed of light. Mountain Destroyer. The hell? You sure name yourself the Streaking Shadow, Dark Eradicator. Then it'll be unstoppable. Ain't no way I'm going with that. Yeah, he ain't great with sarcasm. Isn't he great with sarcasm? I smirk at him, but before I can elaborate, the PA above crackles to life. The club fair is officially open in the courtyard. Feel free to drop by and check out some of what your fellow students have planned. Already, as just the second day, maybe the school's just making everything happen faster this year. I don't really see why. Isamu Imperial Boarding Academy has always done well for itself, even throughout the recession. There's no need to change things now. Hey, it's club time. Let's go take a look. No thanks. I'd rather not be blacklisted. What does that mean? It means she's afraid to go with you. You'll outshine her so much that the clubs won't be interested in her. Oh! Rui glares at me. I only wink back. Well, you shouldn't worry about that, my dear Rui. I'm sure I can use substantial sphere of influence to get you a good spot. I'm already in a club, you know, drama club. Oh, right. She's been in the drama club since last year. Somehow, he's still forgotten. Then, what was Yama talking about? Nothing. Just acting like an idiot, as usual. Well, you know what they say. Like attracts like. I like this Yama. Anyone who knows me that I am a like this Yama character. We're already pretty similar. Ruby elbows me sharply in the ribs. Her lips are pulling up at the corners. They also say opposites attract. Yeah, and we know which one you are. She slaps me playfully in the arm as Masato and Yahiko watch with blank stares. Did I just miss something? No more than you usually do. Yahiko frowns for a moment, then eventually shrugs the exchange off. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I need to find myself a club to grace in my innumerable talents. They are innumerable, alright. So without further ado, I bid thee farewell. He turns with a flourish of his hand, but Ryu calls after him. You know that we'll be there, right? Huh? The club recruitment day. All the clubs will be there, including track and drama. Oh. Well, see you there. He whisks out of the room. You coming to man the track booth, yeah? Me? Like I'm the track's poster child. In fact, I'd probably be just scare away potential recruits. Don't think like that. You can be a great asset, man. Just gotta believe. AKA, every movie theme ever. We exchange snickers, and Masato grabs my arm. Really, man? You coming? Surprised by his sudden intensity, I contemplate it for a moment. It doesn't take long. Sure, why not? Really? Not like I have anything else to do. Masato grins, releasing my arm. Good, I gotta go set up, but I'm expecting you there. He dashes out of the room after a quick wave to Rui. She smiles back and promptly turns to me. Have you figured out why he wants you in the track so badly? Not a clue. She hesitates for a moment and glances around the room. You know, you could join drama club instead. It could be a valid excuse for Masato. I think he just asked why I joined a different club when I could have joined track. But still, I think you'd really like it. Honestly, it sounds like it could be pretty fun. Rui seems to enjoy it. She often claims it's just like when we played make-believe as kids. And make-believe is one of the few things I don't mind doing. But it's so much work. It's no more work than track, idiot. Besides, it could be really fun. I'll take your word for it. She rolls her eyes and shoulders her bag. We'll find Mr. Grumpy Pants. Some of us have club booths to manage, so I'm gonna get going. I'll go with you. We walk in step to the door, almost into freedom. Then the strident voice of the teacher rips through the air. Ahem, Yama Ishimoto? Surely you didn't expect to escape so easily. Ah yes, my attitude problems. I turn to Rui, suddenly pleading. Bail me out? Not a chance. What? What? It builds character. I have plenty of character. Come on, throw up a distraction for me. I throw in a shameless dose of puppy eyes. She only pokes my forehead, sticking out her tongue. You win some, you lose some. Just be glad with the teacher instead of the police. She darts as I call falteringly after her. Yeah, but at least the police wouldn't bore me to tears. What was that, young man? I turned to find the teacher hovering right behind me. Whoops. Nothing. Great weather we're having, huh? She doesn't seem amused. At this point... what point? The second day of school, unless she's referring to teaching me last year. Come to think of it, yeah, that's highly possible. It's clear that detention is doing nothing for your toxic behavior. Well, yeah, because I can nap in detention. Therefore, I've taken the liberty of recommending you for therapeutic mentorship, which will take place on campus at the discretion of our dorm manager. Requirements will be 1 hour, 5 days a week. The mentor will need to sign off on every visit. The what now? Are you scheduling brainwashing sessions for me? Excuse me? You might have other ideas, young man, but civility and respect are integral cornerstones for our modern society. If it does result in scrubbing away some of the arrogance of yours, then I'd say good riddance. I'm shocked by this unusual passionate outburst from her. She slows her breath, shaking as she jams a book and envelope at me. Take this, Mr. Ryota's office. You know where it is. A tiny pinch of the tension releases. Mr. Yoda is the mentor? Maybe this won't be so bad. I give the book a once-over. The cover is somber and 100% boring. Block letters proclaiming primates of the 21st century, 100 plus correctional techniques to improve the mindset of any underdeveloped adolescent. Well, gee, I'm honored. Take it. I take it. Goodbye, Yama Ishimoto. She flounces out of the classroom, clearly fed up with my shenanigans. Wordlessly, I turn and head down the corridor. Guess someone's a little touchy. Not that I can blame her. If I had a student like that, I'd hate him too. I tromped down the stairs to the first floor and stopped before a door at the edge of the hallway bearing a sign, J. Ryota, Dorm Manager. I rapped sharply on the wood 3 times. Mr. Ryota? What is it? Nuclear war? What? No. Meh, don't feel like opening the door for anything less important. I could open the door myself. Locked it. Don't bother. I pressed my ear against the door, listening keenly. There is action-packed orchestral strings, just barely bleeding through the wood. Faint clang of swords on shields. Are you in a clan war, Mr. Ryota? Bah! A moment later, the door clicks open. I slip inside the room holding back a smile. The office is minimalistic in its furnishings, but fairly welcoming. Warm light encompasses the room, highlighting the comfortable chairs arranged around a coffee table that bears a bowl of potato chips. It looks more like the office of a therapist rather than the office of a school dorm manager. In the corner, I spot a comely mahogany desk, on top of which sits Jiro Ryota in a very dramatic position. Welcome to the Satin Room. Have you brought an offering to appease the Dark Lord? Indeed I have. With an equally exaggerated bow, I present the book and a note from my teacher. Mr. Ryota's eyebrows scrunch in confusion. The hell is this? I kinda got in trouble earlier for talking back. Instead of detention, the teacher's convinced I need a more permanent solution. Like death? I can help you with that. She was thinking more along the lines of counseling, I believe. Oh, okay. But what the hell is this? He shakes his book emphatically. The curriculum that the teacher recommends for, helping me. Oh, right. Well, I'll put it where it belongs. He promptly throws it in the trash, which extracts a laugh from me. Now to business. Let me read up on what exactly your teacher wants. His eyes drift over the papers that I silently hand to him. Ha! Oh boy, isn't this precious? Let me translate. Dear Mr. Ryota, I'm having trouble subduing a boy who actually has a brain and doesn't care for the inefficiencies of bureaucracy. Sincerely, a woman who is certainly the most boring person in her graduating class. I choke back laughter as he crumbles the paper into a ball and lobs it into the trash. By the way, don't tell anyone I said that, or I might get fired. And then you'd have to talk to the counseling for Mr. Hanazawa. Hanazawa. And where would we be? Consider the NDA signed. Mr. Ryota reclines easily against a chair, kicking his legs on the table. So how's the apartment? Still in one piece, mostly. Good to hear. And Phil? Phil? That little houseplant, the one I placed on your shelf. Your memory sucks more than mine, kid. Oh, right. I vaguely remember Mr. Ryota forming an odd attachment to a plant when I moved into my apartment. Even to the point where he named him Phil. I think he died. That's a bit odd. I thought he was a fake plant. Nope. Looked fake on the outside, I guess. But all real inside. A satisfied smile pulls at Mr. Ryota's lips. And I suddenly realize the metaphor. We're not talking about plants, are we? Your optimism is inspiring, kid. I would have thought your answer to be the contrary. What, people look real on the outside but they're fake inside? Something like that. We were talking about plants. How was I supposed to know? Well, you know now. So now you know. Is your answer the same? No. Didn't even need to think about it? It's the truth. It's the truth. People pretend to be genuine on the outside, but inside they're nothing. Mr. Ryotas evaluates me for a moment, but to my surprise, there's no judging in his gaze. You must be a real party pleaser. I'll be here all week. What made you draw such a depressing conclusion? I could tell that his mind's on the fast track of my psychoanalysis. Childhood trauma, clinical depression, suicidal tendencies. Time to put to that rest, because if anything should be blamed, it should be my 100% natural disdain for humanity. Power of observation. If anything, people like to be strong, confident, independent on the outside. Peel that away, and what do you get? Their heart? Then that heart must be pretty pathetic. Did I ever say otherwise? No, I guess he didn't. Mr. Ryota eases from the topic and leans back in his chair, drawing a planner from his drawer. Well, if it were up to me, I'd say that you're just like any other surly teenager going through the first throes of senioritis. But paperwork's been signed, and you know how bureaucracy works. Bureaucracy. I can't talk. I thought our government was supposed to be more efficient since the national changes. Ha, you assume the mayor actually does anything important? He scrawls something down on his tablet, and taps the screen. My phone buzzes gently in my pocket. Your teacher recommended that we meet every day, but honestly, who has time for that? We'll just play by ear, and you let me know if you ever get the urge to murder someone. Probably means you're due for another checkup. I checked what he sent me, a copy of the spreadsheet that's tabbed outside his door, revealing his available times. Wow, how'd you even get this much free time? Life as store manager's just swell, isn't it? I thought you at least had some kind of job. I'll let you on a secret. The kids here don't cause much trouble. Not because they're angels, not because they're boring, because they're too prissy. They don't want to get their manicure nails dirty with things like graffiti or booze. But they do need someone to cry to whenever they stub a toe, and the other teachers seem to think that I fit that job description. Actually, it's more like they don't want to deal with hormonal brats. So instead of being a helicopter parent, I get to be a bench warmer for who nods and smiles once every few minutes. Like with me? Well, you'll be more interesting than the rest of them, I hope. Yeah, that sounds like the Academy in a nutshell. Half the people are too snobby to be fun, and the other half are too lazy to care. What do you get to hear? Whining about grades, toxic relationships? Sometimes, but not always. At any rate, I can't exactly complain. It makes my job easy. Thank you for your massive contribution to society. You're absolutely welcome. They seem to equal yours. I snort, he chuckles. Yeah, this could be really painful if I hadn't gotten Mr. Ryota. Well, as your loving, caring, and awe-inspiring mentor, I can hardly keep you from the beauty that is Club Recruitment Day. Oh no, I'm fine, really. Off you go, take a selfie and send it to me. Or I'll schedule an appointment tomorrow. But that's, you said... You need to expand your opportunities, broaden your horizons, go where no man has gone before. But, and most importantly, you need to get out of my office so I can check my clan. That's just sad, Mr. Ryota. World domination calls. See ya. Got kicked out over a game, damn it! And without another word, he shoved me out and slammed the door in my face. I have no choice but to head to the school courtyard. Son of a bitch. It doesn't take much time to find Masato behind the track table, armed with I Heart track flags and I Heart track posters and I Heart track headbands. I get this very vague feeling that he loves track. He welcomes me enthusiastically, immediately piling all admin and duties on me. But true to my word, I proceeded to be completely useless throughout the recruitment process. Eventually, Masato seemed to give up, handing me a simple sign to wave around. I amused myself by coming up with truly terrible pitches. Want a six-pack? Join track. Looking for health hacks? Join track. Get a knack? Join track. Pick your lack? Join track. Pick up the slack? Join track. For reasons unknown, Masato seems to love this. He grins and slaps me on the back. There you go, just need to apply yourself, see? I'm pretty sure those glances we're getting from the underclassmen aren't a look of admiration. Despite my obvious shortcomings, Masato hooks 4 recruits into track. Honestly, I'm pretty surprised that he got that many. A lot of attendees of this school are the richer, the lazier. I also noticed that he seems to be a lot easier on them than he was on me. When the club recruitment fair is done, everything's torn down. Masato and I head to the school's entrance to wait for Rui and Yahiko. For reasons unknown, Masato is ecstatically chattering about my newfound enthusiasm. You killed it today, man! That's the kind of team spirit we need. Great. I might have just gotten myself into more trouble. Well, I guess I was in track for most of last year. Might as well do it again this year. Blanco. To him, and then I said, Geezer's on a gravy stick of motherload. We could use a man with your skills. And so he signed the contract with the blood from his veins, thereby permanently joining the drama club. Wow, I can't believe you're so good at recruiting people. You know what they've said to me? What? Something like, get a life. You're just in denial about reality. Well, darn my thoughts. Youths these days are so cynical. The two come to a halt at Masato's waves at Rui over. Well, looks like you guys have plans. I better let you and you and everyone else have some nice time together. What are you talking about? It's more like babysitting duty. Where I'm the babysitter and I have to make sure a bunch of kids won't, set the house on fire and stuff. Aw, come on, he's your best friend, isn't he? And your childhood friend? Yeah, but... Have you guys made a childhood promise together? What? No way. Really? Really. Those kind of things are more cliche than explosions in an action movie? Exactly. Hey, explosions in action movies are awesome. Well, think of it this way. Although explosions may be cliche, they're also a staple. You can't have a proper action movie without proper explosions. Exactly. It's the same with life. You can't have a proper childhood friend without a proper childhood promise. I winced. Does she have to mention romance? Really? Oh look! There they are. Guess I better get going. Have fun storming the castle. The girl cheerily skips away as Rui sprints up to us for refuge. I try for a smirk. Looks like you and Akari have had a productive recruitment day. Akari Karube, Rui's best friend, current roommate, and self-appointed matchmaker. Also another person who I don't get along with. But let's be honest, do I get along with anyone? Akari was sure productive. I barely had any luck. I noticed that she's mastered herself surprisingly quickly. Well, I guess that 10 years of make-believe and drama club would do that to you. How do you guys do? We got 4 new recruits. 15 liters of fresh blood. 15 liters? Did you just pull that number out of your head, or is that actually legit? Real woman. Of course it's legit. Average weight's 55 kilograms. The average teenager has a blood volume of 7% his or her total weight. We got ourselves 4 recruits. Yuri's eyes are already swimming as he raves on, seemingly unaware of the curious glances from the freshmen who've pegged him as a rough thug. Assuming no one's anemic, we've got 55 times 4 in total kilograms, which is 220. Multiply that by 0.07 for the weight to blood volume ratio. Bam! 15.4. Round that down to 15 for a nice round number, and we get ourselves 15 liters of fresh blood. And this is why Masato's really good at catching people off guard. I can't believe he actually calculated that. Why, it ain't no trouble. It sure sounds like trouble. Hell nah. You should see what we do in Honor Society. Yes, Honor Society. Not only does he participate in it, he's the president. Oh, did I not mention that he's literally good at everything? Athletics, academics, heck, he's probably even art. Except sarcasm. That's one area I can trump him in. The only area. Oh, here comes the great Yahiko Ikari. Sure enough, a familiar shock of blonde hair pops around the corner. Yahiko's beaming, but I notice that he's not holding a single sign-up page in his hand. Good day to you, my pitiful peasants. You have arrived just in time to witness my brilliant plan. Technically, he's the one who came to us, but I stay silent. You see, I've decided to create my own club, a club worthy of my immeasurable greatness. In other words, he got rejected by all the other clubs. Oh boy. You're making a club? Good for you. I know, I'm gonna call it the Happy Club. It'll be comprised of minions who will follow my every bidding. I think we just witnessed the creation of the shadiest club on campus. We will start by taking over the school, then Isamu, then Japan, and then the entire world. Well, at least he doesn't lack ambition. And once my mansion on the moon is built, we will have dominion over the universe itself. But he does lack brains. What you guys talking about all secret like? Nothing. We were just talking about how we haven't gone to GFC in a while. And completely unconvincing as this excuse is, he successfully turns Masato's attention to food. GFC? I like the way you think, Rui. We better go now before the dinner rush starts. He marches off, humming cheerily, as Yahiko blathers on about how amazing his new club will be. Great cover. I know. Totally inconspicuous. Just as inconspicuous as that time you wore a kimono. Of course you'd bring that up. You wanna get tickled? You wouldn't dare. Wherever you mention anything about kimonos, I feel a sudden urge to tickle the nearest person. We better get going. We should follow Masato and Yahiko to GFC. Yeah! She speeds away before I have the chance to stop her. Alright. I'm gonna save here. Empty slot. Alright. I shall see you in the next one. Tell me what you think. This seems pretty interesting. We start off with a serial killer of some sort. So let's see where this takes us. So, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.